Thanks for watching my channel, Surprise Comics. This is Matt coming back with another comic book haul. Hope everyone had a good holiday season, or I guess it's still going on because we got the New Year's coming up. But for me, I don't really care much about New Year's, so Christmas is kind of like the end as far as I'm concerned. But anyways, let's get on with the haul. Actually, before we do that, I do have a contest going on for my 100 subscribers. Big thanks to everyone who's subscribed so far. I've had 2 entries so far from Comic Book Estate and Big East Comics. So I'd like to thank those two for making the videos. If you're interested in making a video yourself, you can check out my last video, which went over the contest. Basically, it's a year-end recap of your collection. So, 5 to 10 or more of your best pickups of the year. It could be their favorite comics, your most valuable ones, the best deals you got, however you want to break it down. Just kind of a way to show everyone how you did this last year, and also to have a resolution for things you want to do next year as far as how you want to buy comics or certain comic books that you're hoping to chase down next year. And that contest is going to be going on to the end of January, so if you're still waiting on books in the next few days and you want to hold off, that's great, whatever. But let's go on with this haul for today. We'll start out with the Hot Topic exclusive of Vader Down. I picked this up at Hot Topic, obviously. They had like 30% off it, and buy 2, get 1 free. So I ended up getting a couple different comic books there, but this is the only one I bothered to show. And, it's hard to find great condition ones here, but this one is in pretty good shape, so I went ahead and picked it up pretty cheap. So I also got some Hastings variants. So I picked up the Vader Down Hastings variant. If you're not reading the Vader Down storyline with the Star Wars, is a great place to jump on. It's just like it's in like the part 4 right now of 6, so wouldn't be too hard to chase it down and read. It's a great read. Actually, all the Star Wars stuff that's come out has been pretty awesome so far. So even if you're not the biggest Star Wars fan, this might be the thing that finally converts you, if The Force Awakens isn't already. So we got Darth Vader #1, Hastings variant. Surprised to find this one, as it's almost a year-old comic, but I went ahead and picked that up. A pretty awesome cover with the Emperor back there and the Stormtroopers, and him choking someone, obviously. Some of the new Marvel #1s I got there. Hastings. I got the Extraordinary X-Men #1. I picked up 2 different copies of Ninja Turtles, Hastings, or Batman and the Ninja Turtles. I got the black and white variant and the color variant. It's a pretty awesome cover. I really liked it. I like on these, when you get the black and white covers, where they still put in, we got the yellow Batman utility belt, and the different headbands of the different turtles are still colored. I like that touch of color when they do it that way, more than just a plain black and white cover. A few more Hastings ones. I got Deadpool #1, and when I first saw this one, I was kind of confused on what it was supposed to be, but I finally figured out. I think this is a Donald Trump parody, and so leave it to Deadpool Comics to be the ones doing this. We have, instead of saying "you're fired," it says "you're hired." He has the tie and the bad hairstyle. So if I think that's what it is. If you know better, leave a comment about it, let me know, but I think that's what it is. So at first I thought it was kind of a lame cover, but I just picked it up because it was exclusive and it was Deadpool. But now that I actually see what it is in person rather than just looking at it online, much better cover. And last one from Hastings I'm going to show, I also got the Gwenpool Holiday Special. A few other people have shown this one. It's a pretty cool, of all the Gwenpool ones, this is probably my favorite. If you look closely, there's so much going on with the different Deadpool characters and the different holiday sweaters they're wearing. We have Gwenpool with the ugly Christmas sweater on, but then we realize it's a Santa shark trying to kill Deadpool. And the Christmas presents to Nook, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, who's the artist that did this cover. So it's a cool way for him to sign his art and make it part of the art as well. And I also picked up a Gwenpool Holiday Special for Midtown. A lot of people were showing this one. and it came all the way across the country from New York. Didn't survive the trip as I hoped. And it's funny, if you be careful if you ever order from Hastings online, because though Hastings, all they did was take comics, not even bagged and board, and they shoved them in a cardboard mailer. Like this one here. No padding, nothing else, just cardboard. Not even that, pretty flimsy cardboard at that. It was just shoved in there, no bags, no boards, and sent to me. Somehow, some way, all the comics showed up in near perfect condition. And then Midtown does a lot more. It's still probably not as much as they should when they ship out their books. And these all have, like, you know, have a small ding there. The staples on all 3 copies I ordered had recessed staples, and so they weren't like as nice a condition. They're still probably near mint, 990, 92 range, but I was hoping to get, you know, 96, 98s when I buy a comic brand new online, but it is what it is. So that's for my one other new issue pickup. I got this, I've been showing these Phantom variants, and they had the all new Hawkeye. I got this the normal cover price, and I'm not keeping up too much on this series, but obviously, you know, in the new Marvel tradition, Hawkeye is now a girl, I guess, or Hawkeye has an assistant or sidekick that's the girl. So, you know, she's pretty much dressed like the Hawkeye from the movies. So I'll have to look into it more to know what's going on with that. Now search for some back issues. First one I got right here is Cable Deadpool. I got this for like $4. This is the first appearance of Hydra Bob, who is kind of like, is a Hydra agent that's gone crazy or something. He ends up being Deadpool's sidekick off and on throughout the different Deadpool runs. This is his first appearance, so I thought I'd pick that up. Picked up another copy. I've shown this one a couple times before. It's Batman number 21. It's the first issue of Zero Year. Got this for $4, which was cover price. And this is the first appearance of Duke Thomas. Duke Thomas is the main character in the We Are Robin series. And if you've read the last 2 issues of Batman, he's been the Robin in that, or he's been appeared in that as Robin. He even had a confrontation with Bruce Wayne. And so looking forward, if you're looking at Batman and Robin as far as it goes forward, Scott Snyder is giving interviews saying he plans on using Robin more in his next couple of storylines that he's going to write. And it seems more and more likely that that Robin he's going to be using is Duke Thomas, not Damian Wayne. If you're reading the Robin Wars, he's Duke Thomas is getting awfully involved with Dick Grayson, so there's also a possibility that I heard floating around that Duke Thomas might be the next Nightwing rather than the next Robin, which I think is a little less likely. But in either way, he seems to be a character that's going to have a much larger role going forward. So if you haven't picked up this this comic yet, it's probably the best time to do it, because he's going to get more and more prevalent. Next up, we got Detective Comics 737. This is the first appearance of Harley Quinn in Detective Comics and her 3rd appearance in DC continuity. Batman 570 is her first appearance in Batman, and this is like the second part of that one, so part of the No Man's Land storyline. It's also her first cover appearance in DC continuity, or they had that Harley Quinn book that came out, but whether you count that as part of continuity or not, that's up to you. Next one is a little bit of a sleeper book. People have been talking about sleeper books in their videos lately. I'm not going to do a whole video about them, but I picked this one up there. I actually mentioned it in a video a couple weeks ago. This is Detective Comics 43, has the Batman Family title on it. And this is the first appearance of Maxie Zeus, one of Batman's villains. He's kind of modeled after King Tut from the Batman 66, where it's a guy who is very intelligent, successful person who got knocked on the head or something and went crazy and thought he was the god Zeus from mythology. Now, he's not like anywhere, he's probably a C or a D lister as far as Batman villains go, but it never hurts to have their first appearance, especially with all the TV shows and movies coming out. He seems like a character perfect for the Gotham television show, so I wouldn't be surprised if he shows up on there in the next year or two. But any interested Maxie Zeus, this is the issue to get. Next issue up is Batman 368, which is the first appearance of Jason Todd as Batman, or not as Batman, as Robin. In this issue, Dick Grayson gives Jason Todd his blessing to use the name Robin and to carry on his legacy. He dyes his hair black so it's not red anymore, because I guess that's part of the costume. But that's one of the comics I've had on my list to get for a long time. I'm a huge Jason Todd Red Hood fan, and so I've been trying to track down all his keys, and so this is one of the few that I still need, and so I'm happy to have it. There's a couple more comics to go today. This next one I picked up fairly cheap. This is Ultimate Spider-Man number 33, and it is signed by Stan Lee. I picked this up on eBay late at night for about 20 bucks. I'm going to send it into PGX to get the signature authenticated. But, just the autograph alone, if you want to go and get a Stan Lee autograph at a con or something, it's going to cost you 80 bucks just to get in line for that autograph. So I figured to pick it up for that cheap, it was worth the risk. I'll send it in to get authenticated, and it looks like a signature to me, but then again, I don't think it's that tough of a signature to fake. But we'll see. I gotta do it quick though to make sure I get in the time window if I got ripped off to get my money back. Of course, I'd lose the money from the authentication anyways, but hey, you gotta try to trust people in this world, because otherwise it sucks not to. This next comic I showed in my previous video, but I haven't shown it in a haul video yet, so I'm going to go ahead and show it again. It's Doctor Strange 169. This is the first Doctor Strange solo title, picking up from where Strange Tales dropped off. It's funny to look at these old comics. There's all sorts of examples of Marvel when they change the name, the title of the comic, but they don't change the numbering of the comic. And now Marvel will do 4 issues and reboot it just like that. And it was like these did everything they could to prevent renumbering comics back in the day. And now they do everything they can to renumber as often as possible. So I guess the industry's definitely changed as far as reboots and renumberings go with comics. But of course, once a comic gets to a certain level, they're going to go back. I'm sure with all the Amazing Spider-Man's reboots and stuff lately, but once they get close to that issue 800, don't be surprised to see 795 pop up on an issue, 5 issues away from issue 800, or however they want to do it, just to try to sell another anniversary issue. And probably after that one, they'll reboot it again and go back down to number 1 again until the next 100 issues pass and they can pass off 900. Don't be too surprised. I think Action Comics is closing in on 1,000 if they hadn't renumbered in the next couple of years. So don't be surprised when DC starts playing that game too. But that's enough about that kind of stuff. I hope you enjoyed the haul and everyone had a great holiday. Real quick before I end this video, I just want to show you a few things I got for my wife. She doesn't like to buy me single issue comics, but she'll get me other things that I like for Christmas. Mostly trade paperbacks. There's a couple storylines I wasn't collecting when they came out. And one of the ones that I've seen the DC animated take on this, and I've been wanting to read this ever since. It's the Flashpoint trade, and so I'm excited to read that finally. And just some other ones I got. I was able to get from the library Injustice Year 1, and I read those and I enjoyed reading those. And so she got me not just volume 1 but also volume 2, of the Injustice Year 2 storyline, so I can kind of see where those left off. And in addition, she also got me some other things. She got me some of the Greg Capullo designed action figures. This is the Red Hood figure, based off the Year 1 character when they had the whole Red Hood gang. I'm sorry, not Year 1, 0 year that he and Snyder did. And then I also got Commissioner Gordon, which is just an awesome figure. The details on this figure are just amazing with his facial structure and stuff. That's one of my favorite things with Craig Capullo. It's not necessarily how he draws Batman and the superheroes and stuff. It's these side characters like Commissioner Gordon and Alfred, and some of the uglier villains like Penguin, and here's the other one I got, Mr. Freeze. And of course, this is interesting because the packaging says Catwoman. On the side of the package is Mr. Freeze. And so I'm not sure what's going on with that. We're going to have to do an exchange on it probably to get the right. She ordered these online, so we'll have to get them exchanged to get the proper packaging with that. Even though it's kind of funny, it's almost tempting to keep that with the error on there. But she got me those too, and it's just an awesome holiday. Thanks for watching. I hope everyone has a good time.